Hi, everybody. It's Talk to Me Tuesdays. It's your girl, Anja. And today I'm here with somebody who's super talented, so incredible. He is a tattoo artist from Hong Kong to Tennessee. He's always on the go. So please help me welcome painter, illustrator, and master tattoo artist, Carey Liu.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm so good. So I can't wait to talk to you about how you turn your dreams into reality.
Yes.
All right. So my first question is, how many tattoos do you have?
Um, I lost count at 30.
You lost count at 30?
Lost count at 30.
Right. Well, I know you tattoo yourself sometimes. So how many of those have you given yourself?
Well, I started out tattooing myself, so like I'd say like 10 tattoos on my thighs are probably given to me by myself.
Oh, okay. All right. So how long have you been tattooing?
I've been tattooing about 7 years on and off.
Nice.
So I started out 7 years ago. And then there was a large gap of not doing it for a long time just because I couldn't get into the industry.
Mhm.
And then I got back into the industry
Okay, wait. So when did you start thinking that I need to tattoo? Like, how did that come to be?
since ever since I guess since I could draw. I was always an artist. I was always a drawer. Always drawing on the kids in school, drawing on the tables in school, and that kind of just morphed into drawing on people in school, and then that morphed into wanting to tattoo.
Nice. Did you know anybody that actually gave tattoos?
Nope. Nah, not until I got older and went out into the world and then figured out that tattooing was a thing. I always knew that it was something that I wanted to do as far as like
Hmm.
an art work, an art medium. But it wasn't until like I left home and went out into the world and figured out that tattooing was an actual thing. You could actually make money tattooing.
Nice. So how did you learn? Like, did you have to go to like tattoo school or did YouTube help? How did that go?
So there's no such thing as a tattoo school because
What?
it's
Really?
not accredited it's not accredited by anything or by anybody. Not like colleges.
Yeah.
So you have to go and grab an apprenticeship and have somebody actually teach you or learn on your own. The industry is just so changed now from like 5 years ago to where there's all this information out online now where you can actually go and teach yourself. If you really, 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 really wanted to,
Yeah.
you'd be able to.
Okay. So tell me how you got started then. So you wanted to do it and you immediately just started tattooing on yourself?
So I bought this machine off of eBay.
Okay, this
Not
is gonna
really
be
the
great already.
it's not like the best start, I guess, but I was like 16, bought a machine off of eBay, started tattooing myself. Stopped because I started messing up my legs, and and kind of just went out and looked for an apprenticeship. So I went out to the first shop that I could find, hung out at the shop as much as I could, drew a lot as much as I could draw, and then eventually they were like, "Hey, you look dedicated. We're gonna give you a shot." So they gave me an apprenticeship. The thing about tattoo apprenticeships is that because it's not accredited and because it's yeah, because it's not accredited by anybody, it's hard to actually get a real apprenticeship. Usually
Oh,
people just string you along for their free labor,
yep.
and that's like a large thing in the apprenticeship industry. So I got strung along a couple times actually by a couple different shops, a couple different artists, and that was
Mhm,
a big reason why I wasn't able to start. So I never got my license because they were stringing me along, of course.
mhm.
And that's when I decided to give up and try something new, and I became a roadie.
Okay.
And I did that for a long time.
So what does that mean?
Recently, that means I started Hello Kitty, the Hello Kitty Friendship Festival. That was my first ever tour.
What were you even doing on that tour? How did you
I was
get
a
there?
merchant. I was merchandise. Okay, so I was at a bar in North Carolina. This is me coming right out of Miami. I had just lost my apprenticeship in Miami. I came back to North Carolina and I was at a bar, and then I got a phone call from an old friend saying, "Hey, man, do you want to work with Hello Kitty?" And I had no other prospects then, so I said yes. And 2 weeks later, I was out on the road, and those 2 weeks turned into 6 years. So I hopped from different show to different show. I started with merchandising because I didn't really have any other skills doing anything else. So started with merchandising, and I worked my way all the way up to audio technician. So now, yeah, so now I work for, well, I don't do it anymore, but I used to do like audio teching and mixing for live shows and yellow card shows. Became part of the union.
What? Really?
Yeah, yeah, a
That's so
lot has
cool.
happened. And then after that, I can actually COVID was a big reason why I actually started tattooing again. COVID happened, and
Nice.
then the touring industry actually kind of like took a tank. Everybody
Yes,
went
it did.
home. Everybody had to find something new. So I decided that I would go to Nashville. Decided to went to Nashville. Um,
Did you know
I worked.
anybody in Nashville?
I knew a couple people, but mm, just acquaintances, not really friends. More so. I was just definitely taking a chance.
Okay.
Definitely. So I came to Nashville and I did some local tours, local shows around here. Decided that I was like, I'm gonna take a bigger chance, and went out for my fifth apprenticeship, which actually
Yes.
turned out really really well.
Okay, so what was the difference with this one versus the other ones that were kind of like playing with you and getting free labor out of you? What's the difference?
I I knew my value and I knew my worth.
Okay, love it.
At this point, yeah, at this point, I never stopped drawing. I was always drawing, so my work is always getting better and better and better, and my portfolio was just getting better and better and better. And I went down to a shop. I actually called a different couple different ones, six or seven, and I think every single one of them reached back to me. I told them about my situation, that like I'm not a professional artist, that I'm just still trying to get into the industry, but I have been in the industry, just on the outskirts of it. And then this shop called Art Immortal in Madison, Tennessee, which is like 15 minutes out of Nashville, said they
Mhm.
were giving me a chance, and that they said that if I learned a tattoo for an entire year without leaving, and made them money for a year, that they would give me and my tattoo license and sign me off. And that year was 4 months ago.
Oh my
So I
goodness,
got
that's amazing. That's so cool.
and
So
ever
like so
since then
up
it just
front they
exploded.
already like kind of said this is the time commitment, which is a start and an end, right?
Yes. Yes. And all you had to do was follow through. And I followed through. Followed
Yeah.
through. They gave me my license, and ever since then it's just been blowing up. So right now I'm in Ogden, Utah for a guest spot, and I'm
Mhm.
here for 3 months. Not 3 months, 3 weeks. So and I they reached out to me. So this is completely new as far as like other shops from other areas reaching out to me, asking me to come to their shop and tattoo for a little while. Just it's a nice experience.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So how did they train you to do tattoos? Did you okay, so there's a lot of TV shows now, like reality shows about tattooing, and I saw one time and they were like tattooing like pigs that were dead and
Yeah.
like what is it? Like grapefruit and stuff. Did you have to do that?
I did that in my first couple of apprenticeships. Like I was tattooing in
Oh,
orange,
okay.
or
Yeah.
like fake skin, like stuff like that. But no, definitely like upgraded and definitely like moved past all that stuff pretty quickly.
Okay. Is there anywhere on the human body that you would just rather not tattoo?
Oof, that is a good
Okay, not
question,
your
actually.
first choice, I should say. You'll do it, but
I will. I mean, yeah, I'll do it. If you really want me to tattoo there, I'll tattoo there.
it might
um,
have
I'd say maybe bottom of the feet.
Okay.
Yeah, bottom of your feet. It's a hard place to tattoo. The ink doesn't really like stick very much, just because it's always rubbing against something.
Mhm.
And like every like 90% of the people out there are ticklish, so the tattoo just never really get. No one's ever really sit well for those.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Mhm.
So how do you get well with doing different colors, mixing different colors with the skin?
It's definitely practice. So, as far as like darker skin tones, there is a different way to put color into like darker skin tones. I know there's a big like stigma as far as like, oh yeah, I don't want color tattoos because color tattoos fade. Um, Not to mention that there are a lot of inexperienced artists that's that lie about their experience level. If you get a color tattoo and the color tattoo is not sticking, it's because of the artist, not because of the colors. Same thing with black and gray. Same thing with any other style, really. You just have to really do your research on your tattoo artist. But yes, darker skin tones and lighter skin tones, you definitely like use a different caliber of color to make it visible. There's definitely like things that you can't do in like someone who's much darker than someone who's like much fairer skin tone.
Hmm. Is there any like what would you say like your style would be? I know some artists have like certain styles. Do you have a style or do you just do everything?
So the shop that I'm at right now is a walk-in shop, which means we take walk-ins. When people just walk in all day, and we're like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And we're like, "All right, we'll do it." So for on that aspect, they ask you to do everything. You know, like anything that walks in, you could be able to do it. But I would say I am more of a neo-traditional, which is not really like your Sailor Jerry traditional stuff. It's a little bit more dynamic. It has a little bit more of like a realistic touch to it.
Mhm.
Colorful, super colorful. So, but I do like black and gray.
So I know watching TV again, I know. They say that sometimes you mess up, like when you're doing clients. How do you navigate that? Or how do other artists in that industry navigate messing up a permanent tattoo on a human being?
Okay, so this is kind of like taboo to say,
Oh,
but
okay.
there is no such thing as a perfect tattoo. Every tattoo will have at least one or a few mistakes. So the
Oh.
job for an artist is actually to make minimal mistakes or hide as many mistakes as you can. There's no such thing as there's no such thing as a incredibly straight line where it's perfectly straight. Yeah, it looks straight to the human eye, and that's pretty much as you can strive for. Um, so as long as artists understand this fact, and they don't really spread it around to, to people, because as soon as you say like as soon as you tell a client that there's no such thing as a perfect tattoo, and I will be making mistakes but you won't be able to see them, then their confidence level kind of drops. So you just
Yeah.
have to be very you have to be able to know how to navigate around that, as far as just going like, hey, like, I'm gonna try my best, and whatever.
Try my best.
I'm gonna try my best. And if you went out and did your research and you saw my work, then my work is will qualify.
Yes. Speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So who is your like support system? I know this has been a crazy road to get to where you are now and it feels really great. But in those downtimes that kind of suck, who did you call? Who did you lean on? How did that go?
Definitely definitely my sister, I guess.
Hmm.
My sister, she's a year older than me. She's always been like, hey, you should do this, or remember to do that. Remember to do that. So she's like the nagging voice in my ear.
I love it.
Definitely always supported me, and of course my mom and my parents, but my sister most of all. She's always just kind of like been the person that's not afraid to say, hey, go and try something new, or hey, go and take a risk. Hey, go to Ogden for 3 weeks, even though you have never been there before. She's she's always been like the light at the end of the tunnel as far as just like scary things go in my career.
Yeah. Is she an artist as well?
She was when she was a kid.
Okay.
When we were
So she,
younger, we were definitely artists together.
oh, I love that. So you still draw. Do you ever sell your drawings or paintings? They're pretty incredible.
Thank you. I do. I do sell prints. I sell prints at the shop. I'm actually in the process of making another one, actually.
Oh,
Mhm.
clearly can't draw as well as you can, or most people can. So should I become a tattoo artist?
Yes. Everybody can become a tattoo artist. Anybody
Really?
can draw. It's definitely practice. It's practice. It's just like anything else. It's like the muscle. It's just flexing a muscle. You know, the only reason why I can draw as well as I can draw is because I draw so much. And I think it's the same thing with anybody else. And I tell everybody this, even my clientele, I'm like, hey guys, you can draw, you can draw, you can draw. You just have to practice. You have to do it every day. If you draw a stick man and you draw a stick man, one stick man every day for the next 10 years, that's gonna be one hell of a good stick man.
Love that little gym. That like makes me feel like I can do anything now.
You can, anybody can, and everybody should, or at least give it a shot.
So how does it feel that COVID redirected you back on a path that you always wanted to be in? What does that feel like when you finally got that paperwork to say you are licensed and you can do this?
That was nice. It was like it was definitely like a very verifying moment. So I could verify that, like, yes, you are able to do this, and yes, this is an option for you. Um, it was, I guess I was just trying to make a good situation out of a bad situation with Kevin. Kevin was it was just so weird. Everybody was like unsure, don't know what to
Mhm.
do. Jobs were being lost. Everybody was like, oh, relying on the government, relying on all these like on these on these write-offs and these stimulus checks. And
Mhm.
I guess I just instead of like sitting around not wanting to do anything, I just try to take it as an opportunity.
Yeah,
S-
I love
Switch it
that.
into something good.
So do you still practice on yourself?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Now that I have artists like talented artists all around me, it's so much easier just to say, "Hey, buddy, do you want to do something cool?"
Yes, yes, yes. And having other people's artwork is probably pretty fun too. So what
Oh,
kind
it's
of
rad.
artwork do you have on you? Anything
So
fun that you
me,
want to talk about?
I actually haven't. The last time I got tattooed was almost too long ago, like 4 years ago, just
No
about.
way.
Um, yeah. Last thing I got was this little
Sweet.
snake on my hand. So that's kind of like a lot like my style. It's very like
Yes.
me and traditional. Most of what I have on me is not really very, very colorful, except for like some of the stuff like that. This
Love
is
it.
like a rose or like a clipper ship
Do people say, "Oh, like what does that mean?"
all the time.
Do you have an
And I tell
answer, or
them
are
it
you just
means
like, I just
nothing.
you say nothing?
It means nothing. It's just pretty art. So that's actually a big stigmatism, actually, I think. So a lot of people come in and they're like, they need their tattoos to mean something. And that's completely well and good. Yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
every now and again, you're just gonna have to if you want to get tattooed and you just appreciate the art, every now and again, you're just gonna have to get something cool, something that just looks cool.
I agree. What about the people who are like either feel like tattoos are people who like come out of prison or something, or people who are like, oh, you're gonna get old. What do you have to say for those type of people who kind of feel some type of way about them?
Um, I'd say power to ya, power to
You're
ya.
like, I don't care.
I don't care. I remember when I was younger and I got my tattoos when I was younger. I used to be a little hurt. when people used to like look at me a certain type of way and say like, oh, this guy with the tattoos, or they walk on the other side of the street, or they kind of like avoid you when you walk around you on the pavement. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I don't really care anymore. I think the stigmatism as far as with tattoos has definitely changed too over the years. I mean, it's a little better, sure,
Mhm.
but like, who cares? Who cares? It's what you want to put on your skin. I used to wear long sleeves in the summers just to hide my tattoos, and that's really stupid. That's really silly. I got what I got, and now I'm going to show it to the world. And if you want to see it, you can see it. And take me how you are. Take me how I am.
I love that. I think that's important. That just goes back to showing up like your full self and being like, you're either with me or you're not.
Exactly. I just have to accept yourself, and I think a big part of tattoos, body modifications, is just accepting yourself. And it's cool to be able to choose your own skin.
Ooh, choose your own skin. I
Yeah.
like that. So you have traveled like pretty much all over the place. How does that influence your artwork at all?
So there, everywhere I went when I was on tour, what I tried to do was I tried to get tattooed from a lot of different places, and
Mhm.
thus meeting a lot of different artists. So now when I finally became a tattoo artist, I reached back out to all these places, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, bud. Yeah, yeah, you're the one that got that tattoo, or you're the one that got that
Oh,
tattoo years ago."
nice.
Or like, and they're like, "Hey, you're a tattoo artist now. Do you want to come and visit the shop?" And I'll go and visit the shop, and it's just like talking to an old friend. I mean, these people gave me like an hour to tattoo 4 or 5 years ago, so
That's so cool.
it's very surprising that they even remember me. So I'll go down there, and we'll talk, we'll collaborate, we'll do this, we'll do that online, and it's 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 definitely helped my artwork as far as just kind of like as far as just like reaching out into all these like different avenues
Mhm.
and going like, hey, I remember this part of my life. I remember this person at that part of my life and this
Yeah.
tattoo that they gave me, and it just incorporating itself into everything that I do.
So it's like another form of kind of like a business card and networking, actually.
It almost is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So for anybody trying to become a tattoo artist like yourself, what advice do you have? What little life gem would you give them?
Don't ever give up. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna get really hard. It actually damn near might seem impossible sometimes, and you might not ever feel good enough. And everybody in the industry is going to tell you that you're not good enough or show you that you're not good enough, even when you are. Um, just never give up. Like this industry, it's one of the few industries that I've been in that will beat you down and will keep beating you down and it'll keep telling you that you can't do it and that's impossible and that you won't have enough money for your startup, or your portfolio is not good enough, or all the artists that there are no shops worthy in your general area, or they're not taking apprentices right now, or maybe never will.
Oh,
It's just one of those things where you have to be able to jump out of your comfort zone and be able to jump out of your comfort zone a lot, and actually maybe even live outside your comfort zone.
mhm.
It's never going to be easy, and even when you finally get into the industry, it's not going to get any easier. It's just one of those things where it's like I said, it's not accredited. It's not a college. It's not in any college. It's not something where you can pay for, get a piece of paper, and then show it to somebody and say, "Hey, I did this.
Mhm.
I paid the money. I went through the courses. I did the time. Now give me what I'm owed." There's no such thing like that tattooing. You have to go and get it. You have to show these people that you can do it. So like taking that mindset and just adapting it to like everything else
Mhm.
in your life definitely like enhances it. After ever since I've gotten to be an artist, I've kind of like developed a little bit of a thicker skin, and that's kind
Yeah.
of like bled into everything else that I've done. And it actually really helps. Just don't ever give up, man. Don't ever give up. This industry will beat you down. It will, and
Yeah.
it will beat you down with no mercy. So you just have to keep on trying, keep on drawing, keep on asking for an apprenticeship, keep on looking for new shops. If there's no shops in your area, go to a different state. If there's no shops in that state, go to a different country. You just have to keep on moving. You have to keep on trying. Because if you don't, you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're dead.
Facts. Facts on facts on facts. Okay, so I have to hit you with people who are like, oh, I can get that tattoo from somebody, my homeboy down the street for so much cheaper. What do you have to say to those people?
Go for it, man. If you
Go for
go
it.
go for it, dude. Like you can never force somebody to understand your worth. And if
Okay.
somebody's like, hey, I can get that cheaper for my homeboy, you're like, dude, that's cool. I'll see you in 2 months for a cover
That's really funny.
up.
Okay, so what do you think about tattoo parties? Yay or nay?
I would say depending on how it's done. So tattoo parties are completely okay, completely cool, as long as they're done like in a really really sanitary way. Other than that, no, tattoo. Why not? Tattoo parties are fun. I mean, we want to party too, but we're always busy working. So like that's one thing about like artists is that whenever they go home or meet friends or see old friends, they usually always want to get tattooed. So we're usually working.
Always working. Yes. And what is your
Always
advice
working.
from anybody
So
who's like they want to go into a shop and they want to get their like first tattoo? What should they look for?
they should look for they should look at what kind of work they're getting. So like depending on what kind of work they want, they should be able to do their research and find the person that they're comfortable with their work, especially for a first timer. Because I know a lot of first timers that are just like jittery all the time. I'm undecisive. I don't know what I want. First tattoo. But if you actually trust the artist and you like the work that the artist is giving and putting down, then it'll really, really help with the confidence level and it'll make you feel a little bit more at ease. So do your
I
research. Always do your research.
Yes, he said that like 100 times. So if you get nothing out of this video, please do
Do
your
your
research.
research, please.
Do your research. So whether if you're going with your homeboy down the street, at least you knew what you were getting.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. It's been such a joy having you. Do you want them to follow you anywhere?
Yeah,
Like on social
so you
media?
can yeah, you can totally follow my Instagram. My tattoo page is inked, INKED dot Volve. Ink Volve.
Sweet. Like always, guys, I'm going to put that right there in the bio so it's easy to access him. Do you have anything else you want to say? Just the last little wrap up, or are you good?
I'd say that, if you really want to do something, you put your mind to it, fucking do it. Just do it. Always do it.
I love it. All right, guys, you've been watching Talk to Me Tuesday. It's your girl Anja. You can find me at it's your girl underscore Anja. Once again, it's your girl underscore ANJA. And until next Tuesday, go ahead and check out Carey Liu. He is fantastic. And oh, you know what? Why would we leave without showing some of your work? So I'm gonna post that right about now. Okay, so you guys, obviously you can agree he's super amazing, just like I know him to be. All right, guys, until next time, like, subscribe, comment, subscribe, and like. Okay, bye everybody.